Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Question on the JD-3AL.
Sure.
What is the relationship between frame opening width and the size of the hole the guy needs to cut in the slab?
Well, the best way to visualize it is this. The unit itself has to have a cutout to fit over top or to be set flush into the ground, into an opening. So if you're going to put the unit on top of an opening and then kind of pour around it, that's kind of like the easy visualization of it. But if you're going to set it flush into the concrete, obviously the hole in the ground can't be the same size as the opening in the frame. You have to account for the frame. And so the frame is basically about 3 inches wide on each side. So that means you have to cut out at least an extra 6 inches. It's usually 6.5 inches for that door to drop it in flush into the concrete.
Okay, so a good relationship would be order size plus 6.5 in each dimension. That will give you the outside. That's a reasonable 1/4 inch margin around. From that, because this is like a ledge, I suppose, you're going to come back 3 inch, and that would give you your inside frame opening plus the thickness of the frame itself, and then that small amount of margin.
Yeah, usually you may need another 1/4 inch all the way around, but usually 6.5 inches will do it for that door. You didn't say it was an H20 door, right? You just said a JD-3AL?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Yeah,
so,
that's usually what you need, the 6.5 inches.
Okay, so 6.5, and then, but that's going to be the shallower cut, and then, according to the drawing, would you then come back 3 inch? So what would be so if we were doing that 3AL of 48 by 72, what's that deeper cut going to be in terms of its width in relationship to the order size? 4.5 by 6.5?
Yeah, I'm not following you on this.
So on the JD3AL,
all you have to do is go ahead. I'm listening.
No, please educate me. I'm clearly struggling.
Well, again, if you didn't have a frame, right? Just imagine you didn't have a frame. Then you wouldn't be able to account for anything. You would just kind of like fit it right over the opening, or you could probably drop it right in the opening. But if you have a frame, you have to account for the frame, so you have to make the opening large enough to accommodate the frame. That's where your 6 inches is going to come in, based on 3 inches on each side of the frame, and then basically a 1/4 inch for clearance for the lip, and that gives you your 6.5 overall.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So it makes perfect sense. So the JD3AL is 4.0 by 6.0. The saw cut that's going to be done on the floor will be 6.5 greater in each dimension. That will give us our shallower cut on the perimeter. What do we subtract from that to make the deeper cut, where the frame of the unit is actually going to reside within? Because we need to make 2 cuts into the floor.
Why would you need to make 2 cuts?
The JD-3AL appears to have a ledge or a shelf sort of feature to it, so that it can indeed sit flush with the top of the floor.
Are you sure you're not referring to the H20?
I'm looking.
Are you looking at a submittal of H?
No, this drawing is just definitely JD-AL. I'm looking for a drawing number on it. Yeah, there's no reference to H20 on this.
Does it have like?
Yeah, it has to be an H20 because it has the disposal drain. Okay.
Well, no, that wouldn't have anything to do with the cover rating. At the bottom of the page, I'm assuming you're looking at a Bilco submittal. Are there several different sizes?
Yes, sir. There are 4, 1 through 4AL.
All right. So you have a generic drawing, and you have access to that drawing now. So let me just pull it up. Let's see, JDAL. Okay, I have the drawing up. Now, you're going to look at the left side.
Yes, sir.
Where you have the helicopter view, as we call it. I'm kind of blowing it up. So we've already inserted the size in regards to the opening in the frame, which we know is 4 by 6, hinged on the 6-foot side. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you look at the drawing, it shows you the frame opening, and then it shows you the frame opening length, or it says overall length.
Yes, sir.
So the frame opening is 4 by 6, and then if you look underneath it, it says you're going to add a +6, meaning you're going to account for the frame itself. So we're going to eliminate looking at the opening now and just look at the frame. Each side is 3 inches. Okay?
Yep.
And the lip, which goes to the extreme, or the extreme outer portion of the frame, is going to account for a 1/4 inch. That's where you're going to get your 6.5 inches. If you add 1/4 inch all the way around, that gives you a 1/2 inch.
Right.
So basically, you have frame opening plus 6, and you're going to add a 1/2 inch for the lip.
Right.
So that's what the drawing is telling you.
Yes, sir.
And that's it. There's nothing more to do.
So if I were to saw cut that frame opening width, now is order size equal to frame opening width?
Yes, that's how we price the unit.
Right on. So I now know what my outside dimension is going to be. It's going to be order size plus 6.5 in each dimension, and that will give me my shallower cut around, which would be 3.5 inch deep from the lower left-hand corner. When I make that second cut deeper, where it's going to be 3 inch less on either side, do I hold it absolutely 3 inch less, or do I make it the order size, or an order size plus 1/4?
Well, I'm not sure where you're going with the depth. The depth is not an issue at this point, unless there's a bottom to the hole, which I doubt that there is. All you're doing is basically making sure that your springs are not compromised. But, it's really up to you at that point once you cut out the hole to drop the door in. You got to make sure you can drop it in, obviously. And often we recommend you put a support system in to make sure that the door is secure.
Now I understand. Okay. So the support system is, if I were to take my order size, add 6.5, and saw cut that deep, I would then be able to place the unit into the opening, but nothing's going to hold it up. So you're saying add a support system around the perimeter of the opening.
Yeah, we provide anchor tabs. We provide anchor tabs, which are optional. If you look at the drawing at the very bottom, you'll see that there's a dark line that's highlighted. That's an anchor tab that can or cannot be used. So that helps you to secure the unit once you drop it in. But there should also be a support system, because you want to support the weight of the unit. And those anchor tabs, just bolted into concrete is not going to be enough, really. Or at least you'd like to make it more secure, if possible. Actually, if you look at the top right, you see the bend down anchors.
Oh yeah, sure, I see it. Yes, sir, I see it. Yeah, and you do see it in the You do say at the lower left-hand corner. Would section BB be representative of a poured-in-place installation?
Yeah, I think you could say that. Yeah.
Okay, because I would like to tell they've got an existing opening, and I was imagining you're going to make a shallow cut for your OD plus plus the margin, plus the shim, or the margin. I keep saying shim. I'm a door guy. Your frame opening plus 6.5, and then you would come back 3-inch on either side, and then make another saw cut down. So you had a ledge around the perimeter to rest that on. But it sounds like that's not how you would do it in a retrofit. You would saw cut to your OD plus your margin. And then secure it to the side on the perimeter. You would secure it to the sidewall.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now,
okay.
Let's back up for a moment. You say you already have an existing opening? Did I hear you say that?
Well, that's so this client, and that's why I actually picked the phone up and called, because he's waiting for me to call him back. This client does have an existing opening, and he needs me to the next part of the conversation is what's the lead time on a custom size, or he's going to rework his opening, assuming the custom size takes longer.
Normally in a case like this, once we know there's an existing opening, we build the door to fit the opening. That way, there's like no issue.
Right.
But if the customer needs a bigger opening in the frame, which often happens, and then they have the flexibility to cut out their existing opening to accommodate the new door, then that's okay as well. But you just have to make sure before you order the door that you know which one you want, because when we do a custom door, then it's non-returnable.
Yeah,
but if it's a stocking item, you might be able to return it, but there'll be restocking fees. You have to pay freight and all that kind of stuff.
No, we're not going to play with that.
And trust me, we get this a lot.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, we got a couple of L20s out in the hallway because the client said E20. Well, E and L don't sound alike, but we got a couple of L20s here. Okay, so may I ask, in general, what would be the lead time for a 3AL, and then what would be the lead time for a 44 3/8 by 62 3/4 outside his rough opening? Would it be 2 weeks and 4 weeks?
Give me that rough opening again, please.
He's got 44 3/8 by 62 3/4.
62 3/4. Okay. Just give me a moment. If you need to answer that, go ahead.
Oh, no. It's live chat.
It might take me a moment. Okay. JD-38L. What state would this be shipping to?
This fella's in New York.
New York. Showing that would probably be 2-week lead time. It's actually a stocking item, but we only ship to your area on Fridays. So, well, actually, it would ship, if you ordered it today, it would ship next Friday. If you ordered it beyond today, it would ship the following Friday after the order is placed. So, that's where you're at with that. And I have a calculator that tells me what size your opening would be if you want to build a door to fit the existing opening.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to know.
Okay, this might take a moment. Okay, so this is going to be a JD door AL. Set flush and opening. Let's see. So 44 3/8 we're going to assume is the width. So we're looking at 3 feet 8 and 3/8. And we're looking at 5 feet 2 3/4. Okay, so the calculator tells us that you would need a door basically about 3 foot 2 inches wide. That would be the opening by 4 foot 8 1/4 inches.
Yes, sir.
So that would be the opening in the frame, and then you would be able to drop that door into that opening, no problem. That would take 3 weeks to build.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, that's perfect. JD3AL is okay. If he ordered it now, it's possible next Friday. Otherwise, it'll be a week after that. And then the custom is going to be 3 weeks, regardless. Well, that's awesome. I think what was confusing me is assuming that there was going to be a ledge cut around the perimeter, and that's not the case. Although it is if you're doing a new installation, a pour-in installation. But for a retrofit, you've got to just saw cut down. You've got to build a perimeter to set the thing on so that it's supported properly. And it's awesome. Thank you. You've clarified this, and I've suffered with ignorance on this for far too long, and I'm sorry that you had to be the guy to sit with me on it.
No problem.
So I thank you very much.
No problem. What's your email address? I mean, we don't install, so we don't get overly involved because there's so many different ways that you can install a door, and there's very creative people who develop their own support systems, and much better than what we could probably even advise. But what's your email address? I'll send you what I have for installation.
I would love that. R as in Richard, then my last name Howard, at A as in architectural, B as in builders, supply, SUPPLY, .net.
.net. All right, I'll send that right over. And if you have any questions, feel free to call me back.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.